It's one of those spring days where we get all sorts of weather, from snow in the morning to rain in the afternoon to some sun setting. So come along today as I share a day of homemaking and motherhood as a mom of 3 expecting baby 4. My routine in the morning is very crucial to me. I enjoy that I can go for walks in the morning. I can do my weights. And yes, I'll just stay in my cozy pajamas while I do my exercises. If I do go outside for a walk, which is when it's not snowing and blowing, then I will change into workout gear. But today was one of those cozy outfit days, and reading my devotional and my Bible and just really delving into what the Lord has for me for the day. Starting off my day right with God's Word. But I've just been writing scripture verses down in my little notebook and trying to just memorize them and keep those words in my heart. It is a dreary morning, so as a mom who makes breakfast pretty early because we all eat together before my husband goes to work, I like to have it cozy with the candlelight. Then, of course, the light gets switched on so that everyone can see and I can get some help from my kiddos as well.
I tricked her so I didn't have to run. I walked away. Look at mom.
Oh no, come here. Hey guy, what happened?
We typically have eggs in the morning with sauteed vegetables, avocado, and sourdough toast, but today I changed it up with some cream of wheat. Just a nice warming cereal on a dreary spring day. I know my days I share with you are pretty typical. So again, just doing my cleanup after our breakfast, after my husband's gone off to work. The kids really play well together in that morning time while I do some housework. It's such a blessing to be able to have about an hour and a half to do some tasks and tidy up and get just the typical homemaking things done, like emptying the espresso machine dirty water, because the kids, like I said, they play well. They'll get dressed. I use timers on my stove often for them, and so if I set a timer for 10 minutes, that means go brush your teeth, or often then it's like, let's go make your beds, let's get dressed. It'll help some of the younger ones with that. And speaking of getting dressed, my outfit for the day, my maternity jeans, cozy sweater, and some lighter jewelry. I do wear jewelry even when I am home. I feel like creates a nice ensemble. And there you have it, my little baby bump and a cozy spring outfit for the day at home. While it's still that time in between starting school, which we usually start between 9 and 9:30, I get some food going for supper. I am doing some pork tacos, some pulled pork tacos. I typically have a tentative meal plan for the week that I write out either Sunday night or Monday morning, and it can be flexible, but I just feel like having that routine of meals is super helpful. So on this day that I'm filming, it's Tuesday. We always do a Mexican dish on Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, my one-pan skillet dinner, variety of tacos, enchiladas, a black bean soup or a tortilla soup, or just something kind of Mexican style, and it just makes it so much easier to have that set. And so Wednesday nights are breakfast night, Friday night is always pizza night, so Monday and Thursday are flexible between like a pasta dish and an American dish. But having those ideas and routines set are so helpful for me as a mom, knowing exactly what we're going to have in that theme. So that's just a tip. If you can theme your days, then your family knows what's coming. You know what's coming. You know how to meal prep. You know what to shop for. Of course, spices always need refilling, especially that chili powder. When we make Mexican food once a week. I go through that chili powder pretty quickly, and just baking items and just little tasks, like I said, that always need to be done in the home. Tickle the flamingo, you might make it screech.
Mom, you're not.
And there was light. Genesis 1:3. Right after I'm ready for the day, laundry gets started, and then we also get to enjoy reading books. That's part of our school day. And here's just the little spectrum of what we read that morning. Just a few fun ones, some of our religious ones, and some that were gifted to us by a subscriber. She sent a box of books for the kids, a beautiful book for myself that I'll share later in the video. Just some things that are Easter related or just about God's creation. So reading is a huge part of our day, and my husband will also read at night too. And then schooling got started, and that takes about an hour, hour 15 sometimes. And then with reading, it's like hour 45. But it's good. It's all good. And we enjoy what we get to do. So on this particular day, we are decluttering some of the kids' clothes and toys and things of that nature. With 3 kids in one room, they have more of a limited space. So I'm always trying to move out clothes that are too small, that are not wearable anymore, that are too wintry now that it's getting a little bit warmer finally. And so just making space for what they actually need. And I'm not a minimalist when it comes to clothing, but I think keeping it very pared down is the way to go. The kids tend to lean towards the same items most of the time anyways, so giving them less options just makes it so much easier. Less outfit changes for those toddlers when they want to change multiple times a day, and less options, especially if I do wash laundry once or twice a week. It really makes it nice for them, because then when they're putting their clothes away and folding their laundry, they see what they've got and they know where to put it, and it's just very helpful. We're also decluttering some of their things on their dresser. It needed a good wipe down and cleaning out of their basket, just little things that they don't need anymore, crafts they did that they don't even remember they had. So good to get them involved and help with this project too. So here's a task that I try to do twice a month, maybe only once a month, but cleaning under the bed. So we got a bunk bed for the girls when our little boy moved into the room with them after he was a baby and he had been in our room. We're a 2-bedroom house, 150 square foot. So we have 3 kids in one room. And so it's time to declutter under the bed, clean those dust bunnies out, and just get it a little more organized. I have little storage totes underneath of their separated toys, like their Legos are in one, their building blocks are in another, their dress-up dresses are in another, and their crafting paper. So I try to keep those to a minimum to only what they play with, and tuck rotate toys, tuck a couple away in a different area, or donate, because I feel like in a small space, you gotta pare down. Otherwise, it's gonna be too much decision fatigue for the kids. They'll just get stuff out and throw it out on the floor and not even play with it. So less is more. But I got under the bed, cleaned it out, got those dust bunnies out, and now just putting back underneath what needs to belong in its rightful space. I often think it's worth investing into nice plastic totes to spend a little more to keep things more organized. I love baskets, don't get me wrong, but with that open top, they get dumped out a lot easier. So having a lidded top really helps keep some of those toys, especially under the bed, contained. So I did get these containers from Amazon, and I can link them for you, but here's a little bit more of a cleaner view of the bedroom, and it is a kid's bedroom. So it is their room, and I let it be their space. I gotta share a snack recipe that tends to be my thing. This is a sourdough discard cracker recipe. I'd made some years ago and I forgot why I quit. I never did it again, but they're so delicious and so easy that it's just a cup of sourdough discard, like a fourth a cup of butter, and whatever seasonings you want. Of course, salt. Then you could make like rosemary, you could put garlic in, you could do Italian seasoning. You could probably even grate some Parmesan cheese into it, whatever you want to do. Such a simple recipe, a great snack, because crackers often can get expensive if you buy them regularly, and we do eat cheese and crackers for snacks. We'll have crackers with our chicken salad or egg salad or things like that instead of bread sometimes. So it's nice to have these crackers on hand, and when they're homemade and there is such minimal ingredients, I feel so good about what I make for my family. So, yep, how to share a sourdough recipe with you guys, and hopefully one you'll enjoy. So while the crackers are in the oven, I am going to make a honey lavender coffee syrup. I shared that I would be making this for you in my last video, my spring days in the kitchen. And so I just use half a cup of water, half a cup of raw local honey that I get in bulk, and some organic dried lavender. And that just boils for a few minutes, then turn it down to a simmer, and then turn it off. You just stir it so the honey incorporates into the water, and you turn it off and let it sit for an hour. Then you have to strain off those dried lavender, of course, because you don't want that in your coffee. But it is such a beautiful spring syrup. And it's time to send some notes. I've been trying to be more intentional over the past couple years of sending thank yous, sending get well cards, just sending cards to people that are on my mind, even just thinking of you. It takes 5 minutes is all to write a card, and just to let that person know that you're thinking about them, that you're thankful for whatever they gave you, and why not take the time to do that? So just a little tidbit of importance that I think is good as a homemaker. Just take time to notice when people do something for you. And I appreciate when people do that for me. So I want to give back and do that. I just feel like that's a way I can minister to others as well, and just be a light to maybe someone who needed a little bit of encouragement that day. Like I said, it was one of those spring days, snow in the morning, rain in the afternoon, but the tulips are still loving all that moisture. Here's that beautiful book that I got from one of you subscribers. It is Decorating Vintage, and oh boy, have I loved this book. I got one that was more English cottage, and that wasn't exactly my style. It was beautiful, fun to look at. This one definitely has more designs and inspiration that I feel I could glean from in my more simple, neutral, vintage home. And so it sits by my chair I often sit at, and I look at it often and just get inspiration for what I would like in my home and in my garden. All right, straining that lavender syrup, because I will be making a honey lavender latte today, of course, especially when it's so chilly and kind of cozy to be inside and have a warm latte. espresso machine is going strong after 3 years of having it, and I just enjoy it. My husband and I enjoy our coffee drinks. He makes his latte in the morning, and that's his one coffee he has, but I can switch my regular beans in the morning to my decaf in the afternoon, and I just enjoy it. There are the crackers. I did score them about 20 minutes in their baking so that they could be a rectangular square shape, but you can also just break them up. But I liked having them as an actual shape of a cracker. Since the snow was done and the rain had come and gone, actually, even when we're outside, it's sprinkling and raining, we went puddle jumping. It was so fun just to go out and about, get out of the house for a little while in the afternoon and enjoy some puddles. My oldest made a paper boat and she was trying to float it, but of course I got a little bit too wet and sunk, but just trying to be creative, and there's the rain coming, but they loved it outside. Just being exposed to all the different elements in nature is so good for them and good for myself. It makes a harder day inside just completely shift and change when you go outside and then come back in and have that new fresh life because you got that fresh air and that outside time. All right, to the rest of the supper prep. I'm shredding that pork so we can have those pork carnitas or pork tacos. And the great thing about this pork is it can be used again for another meal. When you make bulk meats, it's really nice to have a second day or for lunch because we eat leftovers the following day often, or a couple days if we have plenty. But it's just nice to have that food handy and ready. And it was a mindless meal, like I said, because I got it ready in the morning and just needed those toppings with avocado, sour cream, lettuce, salsa, all the good things in a taco. My days often end the same in the kitchen. Clean up the dishes, put it in the dishwasher. Sometimes my husband helps. Other times I love it when he just takes the kids to the living room and reads with them, plays with them, creates things with them, because then it's kind of my time to put the kitchen to rest and to bed for the night and just kind of make it a place that I feel is clean and ready for the next day, which includes cleaning the floors. Then I'll have to wipe the stove off. Sometimes I skipped this part and knowing, it's going to get dirty the next day, so I do leave it sometimes. But there's that satisfaction in getting the grease wiped up and getting it clean for the night. That after the kitchen is set, I'll go and spend some time with the whole family. We'll get them ready for bed, sing some Sunday school type songs, read their devotional and their Bible, and brush our teeth, put them to bed. And then my husband and I often will sit and enjoy some time together, whether reading books or I'll be editing videos, and we'll just sit in the living room and chat. He'll read his books. He's been really good about demonstrating reading often, and so I appreciate that. He's been reading more, and just enjoy some tea, and then I get ready for bed. So that's kind of my night routine, and you've seen that before too. I've shared all the details of that, but one thing I do like to do in the kitchen, if I remember and have time, is to set it for the next breakfast meal, so it's a little less hassle in the morning. Well, friends, hope you enjoyed and have a blessed day.